assignment. Chiquita.
This is my first YouTube video. My name is Cian, but my friends call me Chicky. And this is my husband, Mitchie.
I'm also a friend.
He also calls me Chicky. But we're on our honeymoon. And what better to do while you're on your honeymoon
Than to record yourselves.
than to record yourselves on your honeymoon? So you'll see a little bit of footage of that. But also, I have tasked myself with reading 3 books that Mitchie has picked out for me.
Yep.
So he's going to talk about them, and then you'll see clips of me reading them. I probably am not going to finish them all on our honeymoon because it's like halfway over. We are mostly going to talk about the books that Mitchie has picked out that I am forced to read. For context, I have already read a lot of books that Mitch has forced me to read.
Mm-hmm.
Like the entire Dresden Files series.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that our tastes are pretty compatible as far as reading goes. But there are some things you think are really missing.
Okay, you tout yourself to being this all-knowing like vampire smut reader, and yet you have yet to actually read the original Dracula.
Yeah, so we have this
Like-
really, really beautiful edition. I don't know if you can see it, but this is on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And it's small. Like I could get through this really quick. Also, I know the story of Dracula, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I do read a lot of vampire smut. And I do, in case you didn't know, have a vampire smut podcast where I talk about all of the vampire and paranormal smut that I read.
It happens to be quite a bit.
The fact that I haven't read it is weird, and so I'm going to, because we have this really pretty edition, and we're going to fix that.
Yep.
What else am I going to read?
Hold Me Closer, Necromancer. And a lot of
So
it...
shiny.
Yeah. So a lot of this book is, like, each chapter is a stupid, like, pun on a title of, like, you know, a song. And the whole thing is just, you know, necromancers and what happens when your necromancer is a teenager and that sort of stuff.
And so what made you think that I needed to read this?
There's a little bit of a romance subplot in it that's kind of cute.
And you read this like pretty recently.
Yeah, I read this one, and then I also read its sequel. Last thing is an omnibus.
Yeah, I feel like this is cheating.
It's not
Do
cheating.
you see? This is 3 books, actually.
Okay, to be fair, it's a young adult, like, kids book.
Yes, and I've never read anything Garth Nix, and I feel like because I'm getting more and more into fantasy, like I missed some like
Key aspects of fantasy.
Yeah, like because I didn't read any middle grade Garth Nix, I'm missing something in my fantasy context.
Yep.
So both you and Jess have talked about Garth Nix a lot, and
like
Jess is our roommate.
Yeah.
But
he's got interesting world building. Specifically, this series is kind of cool because there's 2 cultures that actually sort of like butt heads, so to speak, in the series, and it's very interesting watching, I guess, these 2 cultures kind of interact with one another and like establish their own lores and like figure out what's going on. There's not really any romance, so to speak.
I mean, I don't always need there to be romance.
But like, it's a fun adventure series, and it has some very interesting plot developments. It's not really like
it's a casual 649 pages.
Yeah, but
the font is huge. It'll probably take me.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't take you too terribly long. But yeah, it's just a fun, interesting little romp that has some interesting questions. And
I just put it like in front of your face.
Yeah, you've been doing that the whole entire. I love you.
I'm really good at it.
Don't worry about my husband. Worry about everything else.
I'll put it in front of my own face. I'm good at this. I'm a YouTuber. But also, I'm starting this channel because I talk about books on my podcast. I talk about books. Oh, I just squished my finger. I talk about books in my book clubs, and I think people in my regular life are kind of getting tired of me talking about all of the books. So might as well make some like content out of it.
Might as well.
If you're watching this, that means we're friends now. And friends don't talk about how crazy their friend's hair looks, especially on their honeymoon. So, ignore that. You might hear Mitch's commentary and breakfast making, well, brunch making from the kitchen. He's making blueberry pancakes and bacon. And I am about 183 pages into Dracula. And what a journey. I assumed that it would be like most classics, which is hard to get into and not very accessible to like a modern reader. But surprisingly, there wasn't any language in here that felt crazy. Everything I was able to understand from like context clues. And I'm really enjoying it so far, actually. I'm at a point where, spoiler alert, if you don't know the story of Dracula, Lucy just died, finally. Van Helsing is doing a big concern. And yeah, that happened. Jonathan and Mina got married. And I'm sure more violence and shenanigans will ensue. So, I'll talk to you when I've read some more. It is the last night of our honeymoon. How many books have I read that I was supposed to read? Just the one.
To be fair, I mean, that's still pretty fast. Yeah. Hi.
But I did finish Dracula yesterday. And, yeah. The vibes were cool. The vibes were there. I understand why it's a classic. It, like all Gothic novels, kind of meanders and is more atmospheric than anything. And it might have gone on for way too long, but it was enjoyable. I give it a 3 out of 5, which is the same rating I gave Carmilla.
Okay.
So, and the same rating I gave Jane Eyre. So it's kind of really like
the same kind of thing. Just
yeah.
Keeps on.
Yep.
All right.
1 eternity later.
Hello. Hi, me again. What if I forgot about the video I was making and didn't update for like 3 months? And then came back to you with a different hair color. what then? I took forever to read The Seventh Tower, not only because it's huge, but because I kept losing interest and I was fighting for my life to finish it, and I did finally, and then still didn't update. But yeah, that was a book that happened. I kind of suspected that my favorite part was going to be in the first part, where he played Beastmaker, and that continued to be my favorite part throughout. I enjoyed a lot of the elements of it, but I still didn't find myself craving picking it back up whenever I put it down. So it was kind of rough. I don't think I'll finish the series. I would probably read more from Garth Nix though. I am curious about Sabriel, Aberson, those books, so I might do that. But I think that's it for this video. You guys got to listen to my cat scratch on the scratcher and see me and Mitch on our honeymoon and listen to me yammer about books. So if you like that, keep watching and subscribe, because I will continue to yammer about books, and hopefully about more of them that I actually really like next time. But until then, see you later. Is it again months later? Maybe, or at least a month. I'm good at this. It's fine. Maybe this will be my brand, which is that I look like a ragamuffin and I am missing footage. But I'm here to talk to you about Hold Me Closer, Necromancer. I think this is the second book I read for this video. My husband chooses my TBR. I read the first one on our honeymoon, which was back in July. Don't know when. I don't really want to tell you what month it is now. You'll see. But I have once again found a book that he chose for me to be mid, which is not his fault. We have very different reading tastes. His taste in fantasy and mine is very different. I like fantasy tinged with romance, or fantasy tinged with horror, or grimdark. He likes cozy fantasy a lot, which I do, but I have a hard time really buying into it. This was not that. This was sort of adventure fantasy, leaned very young. I'm not sure if this is intended to be YA. I think it is. But I just could not really get invested, which was the same with The Seventh Tower and Dracula, for very different reasons. But yeah, it's about Sam, who works at a fast food chain and, discovers that he has some powers he hadn't expected before. There's a romance with a lady werewolf, which I was intrigued by. My cat's coming to fuck my shit up. Would you like to be in the video? Come on. Say hello to the people. But yeah, it wasn't clicking. And now it's been so long since I read it and then lost the footage of me talking about it that I don't remember it that well. But I am going to recreate this video with the rest of my roommates and sort of compare how I have enjoyed the books that they have made me read. So that'll be fun. So we got 3 stars for 3 books for my husband, and we'll see how the rest of them go. And I think I already closed this video out, but I will see you guys next time. And Mars says hi. And she says bye too.